How to be disciplined when you're tired, depressed, or just don't care. In this video, I'm going to break down the reason you don't want to do anything, the reason you feel like you're not disciplined, or you just don't care about life. You don't have that urgency, you don't have that drive, you don't want to get after it, and you just don't know why it is. You don't know what the reason is, and you just want to feel your best, and you want to get after it. You want to be the best version of yourself, and you want to achieve goals in life. You don't just want to sit around and be a bum. Take notes throughout, because it's super important that you get these into your mind and actually take action on them. Otherwise, it doesn't even matter. Take action always. Diagnose the tiredness. The reason you're unmotivated, most of the time, it just comes from diet and tiredness. And that's literally it, right? So if you can focus on those two things first and fix those, that's going to probably be the problem. But obviously, there's a lot of other things that you can do. So ask yourself, why do I feel unmotivated? You really need to have a deep dive, go do some meditation for like 20 minutes, sit and stare at a wall and just think to yourself. That's like, I do that every single day to fix my focus and actually think about what I want to do with my life. And it really does help. Like, it's so underrated meditation. Give it a go, right? So ask yourself the questions. Your diet, most of the time it comes from diet. You probably feel like shit because you're eating the wrong things. You maybe have a high sugar diet. Sugar goes up, it comes back down, and you crash and you feel like shit for the rest of the day. Okay, don't eat cereal in the morning. You should be fasting first thing in the morning. You shouldn't really be eating breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. I've got a bunch of other videos on diet to help you with that, so go check them out. But you want to have a high protein, high fat diet at lunchtime. And then for the rest of the day, you're going to feel great. Okay. First thing in the morning, you're not going to eat. You're going to feel hungry. You're going to want to get after it. And then at lunch, you're going to have a high protein, high fat diet. And that's going to keep you fuller for longer for the rest of the day. And then by the time it gets to dinner, that's when you can have your high carbs and you can eat what you want. Okay. Because the carbs, the sugar, that's what's going to make you feel like shit. So diet, sleep, you should be sleeping 7 to 9 hours every single night. If you have the opportunity to sleep for 9 hours, take it. Just bloody take it. Sleep is the most underrated and important thing, especially if you're in your 20s. If you're between the age of 16 to 30, I would be maximizing that as much as possible. People say, oh, you should also do a 6-hour sleep and get after it and, sleep as little as possible and work as much as possible. Cool. But if you're feeling like shit, you're tired, then you're not going to get as much work done. The work's not going to be as efficient. So focus on your sleep. Okay. 7.5 or 9 hours. We sleep in sleep cycles. So an hour and a half. If you wake up and you feel like shit, it's probably because you woke up halfway during your sleep. You woke up in your deep sleep. So one sleep cycle is an hour and a half. So aim for that. So aim for either 7.5 or 9 hours, and then set your alarm based on whatever time you go to sleep. It's super important to have a schedule and a routine around that so that your body just gets used to it and it gets easier and easier, and you can implement these things into your routine just to make it natural to you. Okay, so movement and momentum. If you're not moving every day and you're not getting that blood flow in your body, you're not doing exercise, you're not walking every day, you're not going to feel as good. Exercise inevitably makes you feel good for the brain, good for the blood flow, and it's going to have that momentum that's just going to keep you going. So movement is super important, whether it's 10,000 steps a day, right? Or if it's just going and doing weights in the gym, okay? Recovery, super, super underrated. Sleep is recovery, diet is recovery. That's literally it. Stretching, you can do stretching and meditation, that's sort of seen as recovery, but it's just the little things, all right? The recovery you probably don't really think of. However, you can go to the sauna, you can do ice baths. Is it going to help if you do that rather than not do it? Of course it is. So just implement small little things, eat the right foods, eat whole foods, don't have a shit diet, because otherwise you're not going to recover as much. Make sure you're getting the right amount of protein every single day if you're going to the gym to build muscle. Otherwise you're going to feel groggy, you're going to feel, you need to rebuild your muscles. You can't just go to the gym and not eat the right food to rebuild the muscles. Otherwise it's just pointless. So make sure you're getting the right recovery. Protein is recovery as well. Become the healthiest version of yourself. Whole foods. Stay away from the sugar. Sugar depletes testosterone, makes you get that crash because it goes straight up for 20 minutes and then comes back down. So make sure you eat whole foods. All right. Read the back of the packet. Make sure it's not got 20 different ingredients in it. Go to the butcher's. Food shouldn't have any more than 3 ingredients, max. Like bread shouldn't have 20 ingredients. It should have 3. All right. Get tested for test deficiencies. So you can get a blood test. You can get tested for your natural testosterone. Make sure it's If it's high, if it's not high, then you can ask the doctor to, what should I do to get that back up to its natural levels? And deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies, if you're low in certain vitamins, okay, what you can take every day is magnesium, zinc, vitamin D. These things are going to help you get back up to how you're supposed to be feeling. So there's some natural things and supplements you can take. Cardio, blood flow, walk 10,000 steps a day, as we talked about. That is super, super important. Good for your heart health and good for longevity. Getting in the sun, you should wake up, get straight in the sun, 20 minutes every single day. Okay, get your circadian rhythm going so that you can feel alert during the day. And then when you go to sleep, you actually feel tired. Because if you don't get in the sun, your body doesn't really know it's daytime. So that's super important. Cut the vices, stop the alcohol. That's going to just take happiness from the next day. And alcohol is actually bad for you. Okay, you can get cancer from alcohol. It's a bad thing. It's pretty much a drug. It's a bad spirit. Don't take that shit. No bad drugs. Obviously, drugs are just self-explanatory. It's just fucking stupid if you're taking drugs. You might as well just focus on getting rid of that. If you're taking drugs, right, that's like the main thing. That's the main problem, right? Why are you taking drugs? No corn, okay? If you want to increase your testosterone, try no corn for a week. See how it skyrockets your testosterone. Corn, you don't need that shit. Get a girlfriend, get a wife, focus on getting the bag, get the money. Okay, read the Bible, read the fucking Bible. You shouldn't be worried about women or jerking off in your bedroom. It's gay, all right? Stop looking at other men. No sugar. The sugar, it's like the worst thing, okay? You shouldn't be having sugar in your diet unless it's natural, healthy sugars from like fruit and stuff. You shouldn't be having that. Maybe like a few times a week max, but the main thing in your diet should be healthy carbs, potatoes, sweet potato, meat, steak, eggs. Okay, these things, you shouldn't be having sugar. Sugar, cut out anything that's made in a factory. It's there and manufactured to make you addicted to it. Cut that shit out. Lift heavy weights. If you want to increase your testosterone, lifting heavy weights is something that you can do as well. And the higher your testosterone, and the reason I talk about it a lot in this video is because testosterone literally links to becoming the best version of yourself, getting after it, making more money. Most that the higher testosterone, the more likely you are to make money, the more likely you are to live a better life. How to increase natural tea. I have other videos on natural tea, so check them out. But supplement stacks, like I said, the natural ones, you got vitamin D, zinc, magnesium. You can take fish oils as well. That's going to help if you don't get a lot of fish in your diet. Some natural test boosting supplements you can take. All right, they do get a little bit expensive if you're taking them often, but you can get things like turkesterone, Phaedrogia agrestis, ashwagandha. To like ashwagandha will lower your stress, lower the stress, the higher testosterone. There's other things you can do and implement to increase your testosterone. And is it going to help? Of course it is. You're not going to feel as tired if your testosterone's high. You're going to burn fat better. Everything gets better when you have a higher testosterone. Stay away from, I have a filtered water system here. Stay away from, just literally, the whole idea here is to watch what you're putting into your body. You get shit in the water supply, that lowers your testosterone, estrogenic compounds, heavy metals. The list goes on and on. I could be here forever talking about natural supplements and all these other things to increase your testosterone, but just have a think about what you're putting into your body and what do the people that manufacture foods put in your water supply, put into your foods, do to weaken you, because that's what they want to do. Ice baths, you can take ice baths to increase testosterone, increase your longevity. And eggs, just a little tip in there, boys. You know, this is the number one test boosting tip that I always implement is having eggs before bed. If you're struggling to increase your testosterone, have 2 to 4 boiled eggs before you go to bed. It's going to skyrocket. You're going to wake up rock solid, and the girl's going to be asking, babe, what's going on here? Why are you rock solid every single one? Babe, it's the testosterone. I'm just a high test guy, all right? I've got to get after it. So have 2 to 4 boiled eggs. It's going to increase cholesterol. Cholesterol is a precursor for testosterone. Morning routine for success. Hydrate, super important. Okay, wake up, have a glass of water, filtered water. Journal, clear your mind, be at ease, the more you're at ease, the more you can relax, you don't have high cortisol, the higher testosterone is going to be. Read every day, of course. Gym, lift heavy weights. Just have some sort of morning routine you can implement, and it's going to make your day a whole lot better. When you have a morning routine and you have it structured, it's going to make everything better. When you have a structured routine, you do these things day in, day out, it's just going to become normal for you, and it's going to be so much easier for you to implement harder tasks into that routine and then make these harder tasks easier over time. Consistency, the thing that you probably struggle with the most. Whatever you're doing, let's take gym for example. If you're struggling to get in the gym, you need to ask yourself a few questions. Is it sustainable? Can I do this program for a longer period of time? Can I do this diet for a longer period of time? If you can only do it for 5 days, 10 days, 2 weeks, and then you get bored of it, or you just can't hack it because it's too much, you need to lower the bar. And I don't mean lower the bar to the point where it's not going to benefit you, but you need to be able to have a gym routine. So for example, have a gym routine that's 3 days a week, 4 days a week, but you can do for 6 months at a time. That's going to be so much better than just doing it for a month and giving up because you can't handle it. Sustainability, super, super important. Even if it's 3 to 4 times a week. If you want a full guide to getting in shape within 4 hours per week, I've got a full 40-minute video on that and everything you need to do. This shit should be costed money, but it's free. Okay, so check it out. Discipline is just doing the thing you don't want to do, even though you know you should be doing it, but you just got to do it. All right, there's going to be times inevitably you don't want to do certain things. All right, maybe you got a bad night's sleep. Maybe you didn't go to the gym in 2 days and you're just not getting that motivation. You just got to fucking do it anyway. Stop being a bitch. Be a fucking man. Grab your bollocks and get after the work. All right, you're a man at the end of the day. Mostly it's going to be men watching this. Grab your fucking bollocks and get after it. Let's stop fucking sugarcoating all this shit. Be the best version of yourself. Be a role model. Take care of your family. Be the fucking man. Have a mission. What is your why? This is your task right now. This is the last slide in the video. So write down your why. Why do I even want to fucking wake up in the morning? You need a reason to get after it. My reason is building my online fitness coaching business and my personal brand. And I wake up every single day and I put in the work. I create YouTube videos, I create content, reels. I help my clients. I get on client calls and make sure they're doing what they need to get in the best shape. You need a why. Otherwise, what's the point in waking up? We might as well just go back to sleep. Build a business. Be the best at something. Like I said, my why is my business. Everything comes naturally around that. Be the best at something. You might be good at a hobby. It doesn't have to be a business. You can be a world-class swimmer. You can be the best at, I don't know, it could be anything. Construction, making a coffee. It could be anything. You could be the best coffee maker in the world. Be the best at it. Strive every single day to do your best at that. And then you're going to notice your life turn around so quickly. So your task right now is to write down 5 things that you're good at. If you don't know where you are, don't know where you stand, you don't know what your goals are, you don't know where you want to be, write down 5 things you're good at right now. Then with those 5 ideas, just looking at them, okay, you can look back at them, write down 5 goals for this year. Within that, you've got a year to achieve it. I've got goals. Every single year I write new goals. You should have 5 things that you are trying to achieve every single year. Mine are for my business. 5 things that relate to my business that are going to get me further ahead in life. And then with that, you write 4 and 5 non-negotiables to get you towards your goals every single day. So if my goal is to get 10,000 followers on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever it may be, on my social media, I'm going to have a non-negotiable of creating 2 reels every single day, creating 3 YouTube videos every single week. And that's going to get me further and further ahead. And if I do these 5 non-negotiables, you should have it so that when you do the 5 non-negotiables, that puts you closer towards your goals. And that is inevitably, if you do them for a year straight, that is going to get you to your 5 goals. Boys, thanks for watching. Make sure you implement this routine and this mission. Go back, watch it again on 2 times so it really ingrains into your mind. Otherwise, what's the point? Take action on this. Otherwise, it's just another fucking YouTube video and you've wasted your time. Rewatch it, take action, take notes, and implement it. Thanks for watching, boys. See you in the next one.